Hi, Michelle. Delighted to be having another of our regular chats with you. Myself and Steve Evans here.
You're not sick of me yet, then?
Not yet.
We can cope with you for a bit longer. Good to see you again.
And you, Steve.
What have you been up to then? Besides reviewing more Stephen King novels, and
yeah, that's pretty.
have you moved on from that?
To be honest with you, it was the solstice on Wednesday, so we went and gave thanks. But apart from that, yeah, quiet, very quiet. Not like me.
Oh right.
Yeah,
it's not like you at all, is it? So what did you do? What did you do on Wednesday for the solstice? Did you go down and take in the nice views of somewhere with a sunset like I did, or?
Yeah, exactly that. We went to Witches Point in Southern Down, where apparently, from what the tales are told, that they used to throw the women off the cliffs into the torrid waters below, and if they survived, they were witches, and if they drowned, they were innocent.
Oh, great! Oh, dear.
So you're stuffed either way, aren't you?
yeah, that's a bit. Yeah, that's the original Catch-22, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. Yeah.
I've read. Yeah, I've read the review of your Firestarter, Michelle. Totally agree with it. Superb read.
Oh, love it. Yeah. Absolutely love it. I was rooting for Charlie all the way through. Yeah, so let's start with my reviews, shall we? Yeah. Firestarter. That was God, I don't even know where to begin. Let me tell you, it is Stephen King at his finest. So Andy McKay, when he was at college, he needed some money, so he partook as part of a test. They reckoned that it was 50-50 whether he was going to get the saline solution or the lot 6 drug. And both Andy and his partner got the lot 6 drug. They went on to get married, and they have a little girl called Charlie. And they managed to drop off the government's radar. And the government had a special agency called the Shop that was looking into people with extra special powers. Unfortunately, little Charlie turned out to be pyrokinetic, and the government wanted this child. So when you're pyrokinetic, she could think about starting fires. Andy escapes the Shop several times with little Charlie, but then the agent called John Rainbird catches up with them. Now he is Evil Incorporated. You know, you just really want Charlie to burn him up, because he only wants Charlie so that when all the tests are done, he can kill her to see what it's like to see a soul leaving, or he thinks he's going to have some big epiphany when he kills Charlie. And so you just want John Rainbird to die all the way through. Hateful man, horrible. You know, and Andy's just doing his best for his daughter. So Firestarter, absolute king at his finest. 10 out of 10. You know, it was I was sat in the car because everybody thinks, like, you know, she's vegan, she's like, you know, into human rights, blah blah blah. And I'm going, go on, kill him, Charlie, kill him, break him.
Excellent. I've seen the film, Michelle. There was one last year. I think it had poor reviews, but the one from 1984.
No, I haven't seen. I always, you know, try to read books first, so I will watch it. But I'm in the car going, go on, Charlie, and the shop agents catch them up. Go on, Charlie, burn him up.
Drew Barrymore plays the child, plays Charlie, and George C. Scott, he's the evil one who you want to see burning to death.
I can sort of see George C. Scott as being John Rainbird, you know.
Martin Sheen's in it as well. I think he's the leader of the Shop.
Who is?
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen. Oh, yes.
West Wing.
So he's Cap, is he?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Because Cap's torn all the way through. But you know, he still gives Sean Mainbird the go ahead to kill Charlie. And no, no way. So yeah, so 10 out of 10. Stephen King at his finest. The title is Firestarter. And on to George Orwell. Now over over the, did I mention him last time?
You didn't. You sent me a message saying you were going to read it. 1984.
1984, An Animal Farm. So I listened to this on audio. Oh my God, what an amazing writer. And even what he was saying back in those days is like prevalent now. You know, so Animal Farm is like it's about farm animals who take over a farm from the evil farmer, you know, who's mistreating them and exploiting them. But then the pigs take over the running of the farm, and they start doing deals with the humans, which is no, and the animals just can't seem to see that they've only got rid of one load of dictatorship to deal with another. And it's just so well written, and it's really, it's one of those you've got to read. You have got to read. And then going on to 1984, the premise behind 1984 is that we're living in a completely socialist communist state. And Big Brother is everywhere watching us all. And there is one gentleman who thinks that he's getting away from Big Brother. And he, in his own way, tries to stand up to them. And there isn't very much I can't really tell you. It's about being stuck in this like completely socialist state that is so far left, it's hard right. So, you know, instead of like when you think that it's the socialists who are trying to do good, actually when they take over, then it's kind of like it's where communism comes into play. Big Brother is everywhere, watching everything you think, say, do, which they are. No matter what you do these days. I'll tell you, I've had some things where it's been downright scary. A young friend of mine called Russell came to do my gardens the other week, and we were outside in the back garden talking. God, what was it we were talking about? It was something really off the box. I completely, you know, way out there. Let me just see if I can find the and I came back in. Oh yeah, no, that was it. I was in the back garden. Neither of us had technology on us because he was doing the garden. I was just stood, you know, talking. And we were talking about the fact that I'd been to Oxford. I'd done a writing course at Oxford, and I said I wouldn't mind doing the second level at Cambridge. You know, it's called a double whammy. And we laughed. And then I walked in, clicked on Facebook, and what did I get an advert for?
Oh,
Cambridge University. Short notice.
That's a bit scary.
And it went literally from, I walked out of the garden into the house, and then I got an advert for Cambridge University, and I'm like, there was just no way. There was absolutely no way. So they are watching everything we think, say, and do.
And listening to Big Brother's listening to you as well.
Yeah. And I know you're listening. You can go and suck Dixie for all I care, pal. Yeah, so it was, yeah, you know, I'm thinking, so 1984, yeah, we might have overshot it by a couple of years, but not by far. Not by far.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, it is, they are watching us. And I remember watching an interview with Bill Gates, and somebody said, this was over the COVID or some vaccines, whatever he was doing. And somebody sat in the audience and they said to him, it's an accusation, you know, like you only want to jab us with this vaccine so that you know where we are. And he said, have you got a mobile phone? The fellow said, yeah. He said, hold it up. Well, I went like that. It's a mobile phone. I know where you are.
Yeah.
That's
true.
it. They know where we are, what we're doing, who we're with, who we're talking to, what we're talking about, how the hell. I mean, I guess Russell must have had his phone in his back pocket. I don't know, but my phone, I've got a habit of walking in, put my phone down and forget where it is. My phone wasn't with me. So, you know, how they managed to connect the two. That was pretty scary, that was. And another one was my friends and I were watching Dance of the Vampire, an old Roman Polanski movie, on my standalone TV. And during the movie, the Van Helsing's helper puts like light bulbs on his back that's supposed to draw out sciatica or whatever. And the following day, I got adverts on Facebook for those bulbs. And I'm just like, that's a standalone TV.
Yeah.
How did you know what we were watching? So, yeah, so 1984, An Animal Farm is a big 10 out of 10. Watch them, because it just gives you an idea that no matter what political party you follow, none of them are any good.
Yeah.
So that's what I read. What else have I read? The Value of Fear by Sherlock Holmes. Did I mention that one last time?
No.
I read so many. All I do is read. Well, it's got to be read. So it was Conan Doyle's last novel.
Was it a short story, or was it novella sized, full novel sized?
It was novella sized. It was normal. I'm just trying to find. I haven't put there. It's just looking for it now. So I'll read you quickly. I enjoyed the first part where the murder takes place and Holmes solves it, of course. But when in part 2, the story flips back to uncover the what's, where's and why fors, I enjoyed this secondary mystery more. The book is not narrated from Dr. Watson's perspective when they're called out to solve a murder that has the infamous Moriarty stamp all over it. Solve it they do, and then part 2 is a whole other mystery that explains the first. But then Holmes's premonition from part 1 comes true. You have to read it. So I am currently reading Tacoma. I think that's how it's pronounced. So if it's not, many apologies. So the author is Kevin D. Miller, who is on Twitter on the handle Heart of Steel Bow 1.
It's unusual.
Heart of Steel Bow 1. I'll send you the link over as well.
Yeah.
What a way to start a book. Just from the off, first 2 pages, had me gripped, and that was it. I was into it. It was so what you've got the lovely volcanologist by the name of Yara Del Rey. She is looking into one of the volcanoes in her home of Hawaii, when the government come and kidnap her. And that's how the book opens. I mean, what a way to start a story.
Great setting. That was great.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And that's all I'm going to say. You've got to read it. I totally love this book. You know, that's how you open a book. That's how you open a book. A girl going about doing her everyday job, and the government come and kidnap her. What more can I say?
Excellent.
You need to read the book to find out why.
Yeah. Talking about the indie writers, we had another chat with Ken Stark last week. He's superb. He's great to chat to.
Oh, yes.
You see why he's got so many followers?
I know. He's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. I mean, what I intend to do is when he's finished the stage series, I'm gonna bulk read them. and read them one after the other. You know, the way I do the way I did with Tape, the way I'm doing with Stephen King. So I'll read it, you know, one after the other, after the other, after the other. So because you find little Easter eggs when you do it that way. You're more likely to find little Easter eggs.
True.
Doing it that way.
It's got the 5th volume in the series. I think it's due out in a couple of weeks' time. He was telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's amazing, isn't he?
He is. Yeah.
And I think the first book I read of his was Arcadia Falls.
Oh, yeah.
Ken has this amazing ability of taking something that to a lot of people is just very archaic, very normal, very everyday, and making it scare the hell out of you.
Like Stephen King.
I actually think that's, in a way, Arcadia Falls is on a whole other level.
Yeah.
Because it's so very normal what he takes. I mean, I've got to admit, it's a lot of people are afraid of this thing, but most people aren't. You know, this is a phobia. But this thing thinks and fights back, and it's as cunning as humans are. So yeah, definitely. If it's a cringe factor, scare factor. I don't scare easy, but let me tell you, I was kind of like, ooh.
I'm not reading that then.
Yeah. It's one of those ones that you've got to read, along with, and this is the final one that I promise you I'm going to do tonight, and that is The Long Walk by Stephen King.
Yeah, I haven't read this. So tell us about it. Don't think I've ever heard of it.
It's not scary per se. It's not horror. And I hated it. I hated it from the get-go. I saw the thing coming, and somehow I was still surprised. But I still gave it an 8 out of 10 because King hit my ick factor with it. And that is, I don't scare easy. In fact, a lot of people will say that I don't scare at all. But my ick factor is needless, senseless violence. And that's what The Long Walk is. It's 116-year-old boys who are walking from point A to an indefinite point B. Point B is where the last boy is standing. You have to walk at a constant 4 miles an hour. If you drop below 4 miles an hour, you get a warning. You get 3 warnings. The soldiers shoot you dead.
Well,
that was my ick factor.
Yeah.
Absolute ick factor. I can't stand the idea of needless, senseless violence, and that was needless, senseless violence. It's one of the reasons I saw the Hunger Games, funnily enough, when I was at a friend's, and decided that's a set of books I'm just never going to read because it's needless, senseless violence against children, and it's a no. And I can see where that idea came from by reading The Long Walk, and it's horrible, absolutely horrible. And you've got to read through, and you are with these boys on that walk, you know, with Ray Garrity, you know, and it's kind of like you want to know, you know, who's next, you know, which one of the kids is gonna buy his ticket next. It's horrible. That's the only way. But if you start reading it, then you do have to follow it through to the end.
Sam's caught up with us, but it's as usual. It's been a blast chatting with you. Really enjoyable.
Fantastic.
Always is. Always is.
Yeah. Always look forward to this. Yeah.
Oh, it's light-hearted. It's a good laugh, isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You've got to have a laugh.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're over the forest fires. We had some terrible forest fires. Yeah. Over the past couple of weeks, and finally they're out, so we can all sleep easy. There was one night when I was speaking to Teddy as it was happening, and we were like we were gonna go, but then
Scary that.
we had the waterboard and the fire service saying, "Sorry, with they had under control as much as they possibly could." So yeah, very scary.
You're lucky it didn't get any worse, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's took half the mountainside.
What the hell?
Yeah,
Wow.
but they are replanting what's been damaged, so they're going to replant that. So, God.
I'll touch wood, it'll be safe. But listen, let's keep in touch as we have been doing, and we'll speak to you in about a month's time, Michelle.
All right, fantastic. And then I will have my RC Bridgestock review for you.
Brilliant.
And as long as probably some more of Stephen King, and who knows what else I'm going to pick up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, we'll look forward to it.
All right, I'll
Nice
catch
one.
you then. Take care now. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Michelle.
See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye.